What's up, guys? It's Chris from VA Travels. Welcome to my channel. And I make casual, just kind of simple vlogs visiting historical sites in Virginia. And today, actually, I've stepped outside of the state. I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Knoxville, actually the birthplace of Knoxville, Knoxville's first home. It's James White's Fort, built in 1786. So check this place out. Okay, so I'm all checked in, about to take my tour, and here's the courtyard. And they said there were about to up to 100 people lived here, and the guy gave me this little pamphlet, but it just goes over this UR code. Each of the buildings has a little UR code, so it's an audio tour, so you don't have to read all that. And I'll also tell you that Knoxville's got a pass. You can visit 7 historical homes for $25, which is a pretty good deal. So, oh, and I'll also tell you, yeah, James, he was granted this land, 1,000 acres, for his service in the Revolutionary War. Granted the land 1783, 1785. He moved out here with 2 of his sons, built the first two-story building. And he was a successful land speculator, and by 1800 they say he had 125,000 acres in the whole West Tennessee, well, in the valley and further into West Tennessee. So go through some of these buildings, and over here the main house, this is the bottom floor. Oh, and also real quick, I'll tell you that in 1791, he sold some of this land to William Blount. The Blount house is not even a mile away. And William turned it into Knoxville. He gridded it out into 64 lots. And, oh, and real quick also to tell you, Knoxville is named after Henry Knox, Secretary of War under George Washington. And these are 2 of James's great-grandchildren, great-grandson in his Confederate uniform. And this is a dining table, a standing dining table. So, and over here, pretty big fireplace. And this wasn't used for cooking, so pretty big one. And this is an old plate warmer. Keep your dinner plates warm. And a little rotisserie down here. I don't know what exactly you put in there, but okay, and here's a map of the city of Knoxville. Like I say, 64 lots, your standard half-acre apiece. This Gay Street was the main drag, and it was named after Gay Street in Baltimore. And the McClung's down here. He gridded out the city, and he lived over at the Blount Mansion after William Blount's son. Over here is James's son, Hugh White, and he was a Tennessee senator. He was a state justice. And this is a little wine and tobacco chest right there. So, yeah, it feels a lot better in here, heated. A lot of people must have lived up here. All your standard rope beds. Looks like a fire hazard right there. Yeah, some clothing. So, pretty cool. Also, I'll tell you, this isn't the site of the original fort. It was not even a mile upriver originally. And I believe he said in the 1950s it was moved over here. All right, the kitchen. kind of your standard kitchen from that time. A weasel right there. Just a quick story. You've heard the old English term, pop goes the weasel. And some of these used to have a little thing on top, and it would record after 100 spins. You get a certain size bundle. Once you hit the 100 spins, a little thing would pop up. So it'd be pop goes the weasel. Rifle. Oh, yeah, and they actually held livestock in the courtyard here, so yeah, it's a pretty crowded place. Probably didn't smell too good. And yeah, well over here, it's pretty funky. And these palisades were built actually not necessarily for Indian protection. Supposedly Cherokee Indians lived in this area, and supposedly James was on good terms with them. He signed many treaties with the Cherokee. And these are ashes from the fire, and this is how they made lye soap. They would somehow run water over the ashes, and the lye would drain out of the bottom. Not sure exactly how it worked, but yeah, that's how they made their soap. And yeah, so the palisades were actually built just to keep out wild animals, bears, and whatnot. Smokehouse. Oh yeah, and got a salt box over here with the gang curing the ham. And yeah, smoking process took almost 2 years. That's pretty crazy. And this is a cider press. Apples, make apple cider. So you know, your kind of pots and yeah, I guess we know what this is. And they've got two pots in there. Just a little note. Supposedly, they say the crescent moon means female. If you see a star, that was for men. So, okay. So yeah, the weaving house. Obviously, they had to make their own clothes. Down here, a yarn winder from 1750. So, a bunch of arrowheads. A musical instrument. Kind of interesting. And the Cherokee alphabet. And they say the Cherokees were the only tribe to have a written language. A little boot scraper down there. Oh yeah, the sun feels good. James White's Fort, guest house. Now I guess you need a ladder to get up there. See a bed up there. Children's bed. Flagpole. Over here they call this the tub mill. And you see your two millstones. The bottom one would be stationary. top one would spin. You'd crush your wheat, corn, and powered, of course, water coming down off a flume. And the blacksmith shop. Got your forge over here. And a bunch of lanterns. Is it coal? I don't know what that is. Oh, and I'll tell you a funny story. The blacksmith here was also the dentist, and he would use those same pliers to remove teeth. Well, it's pretty neat, pretty simple, small little place, but good tour. It's kind of cool. This is pretty much the beginning of Knoxville, the beginning of Tennessee. Alright, pretty cool. So that was James White's Fort, and yeah, I'm getting out of here. A couple of other things I'll tell you real quick, that two of his descendants went on to be U.S. senators. One of his descendants is the playwright Tennessee Williams. He ended up donating land that would become the University of Tennessee, and also later in life became a general in the War of 1812. So there you go. Alright, getting out of here. See ya.